It's not about look what I can do. Only a bad teacher does that. So first of all, I'll cut out a simple circle. It's just got a line scribed around there. Now before you even start, you would have decided if your circle was actually plenty oversized of what you wanted, or perhaps a bit near the mark and you want to make sure that you don't cut it too small. But what I will do is cut on the line, because there's plenty of things you can do for making hands and things like that, where you don't want to spend a lot of time afterwards filing it up. You can cut on the line and it's right in the first place, it's the right size. So many people cut so far away from the line that they've got all this filing up to do. Well, filing doesn't come into it, you cut right in the first place. So when you sit, it should be arranged that your seat or the bench or the table height, when you sit up against it, the crook of your arm meets the position of the blade, and the blade is halfway up the work. You don't move the saw, you move the work. So the saw is going to continue up and down in the same place, and the work is going to move at the correct speed. The cutouts, you might not be able to see, there's lots of cutouts and score marks all the way down that V shape, and that is because they've got a use. If I was going to start cutting and wanted to be very precise where I started, you will put the blade on there and you would skid up and down, and you might get the right mark, you might not. But by putting it into a groove or a saw cut on the table and then presenting the work, you can start exactly on the line that you wanted. That's not the only reason for the cutouts in there. It's also when you come to the end and you're going to break through the metal, what you don't want to do is to break through the metal and have a big gap to fall, because you will break the blade by knocking the table. The other thing is you might have your finger there, and it cuts glass at an extremely fast rate, and skin and bone is even quicker. I should have my glasses on actually. Now one of the things with glasses is if you've worn glasses all your life, you know what they're going to do. If you haven't worn them all your life and you have to wear them at a later stage, you come across all these problems. So when I first started to need glasses, I went to the opticians and they said, yeah, you need glasses for reading, so they gave me these glasses. When I went back to work, I couldn't see what I was doing. And the reason was because they give you a focal length for reading a book. Well, reading a book is down here, and it's nowhere near what we generally work to. So I went back and said, that's no good to me, I need to work up here. And they said, well fine, it's the focal length, and the optician will give you a pair of glasses which, so I can now see what I'm doing. And I would just go round on the line. The saw is doing the work, and I'm just gradually drifting the glass around in a circle. There is no rush. A fast speed does nothing. Only the saw will do the work. it will remain fairly upright at the same speed, and it's virtually going to the end. Occasionally it might knock the top or bottom of the frame, but that's keeping the blade wearing at an even rate. So you continue to do that until you have cut round a perfect circle. Now, the thickness of this blade is a shade thicker than the thickness of that line. Occasionally you have to blow the swarf out of the way so that you can see the line, so that you can see what you're doing. And there's no point in me continuing round because it doesn't show you anything. So I will just take that out. And I said I was going to cut on the line, so you should be able to tip it to the light and see if there's any line showing on the inside or the outside of that cut.